Hi guys, and welcome to today's Drum Dog lesson. Today I want to talk about something that's really close to me personally as a musician, and that is improvising. The more I've played drums, the more I enjoy working on the things that I have the most freedom to improvise on. But when I think back to my early playing, the word improvising alone could kind of be scary for me. And I really want to undo some of the myths on that and kind of work on why improvising shouldn't be such a scary word. Now, firstly, I want to touch on what actually is improvising. At what element does something become improvising? And it doesn't have to be an open drum solo. Sure, that is maybe one of the most extreme forms of improvising, but improvising is anything that wasn't prepared note for note in advance of you playing it. And that could be something as simple as a slight change in a bass drum pattern, or moving a hi-hat choke somewhere in a beat, or just playing a drum fill off the cuff. Now, rhythm is 100% a language, and I like to think of improvising as having a conversation or making a speech in that language. Now, if you were making a speech in front of a group of people in real life, just like a performance situation for music, you would make a sensible amount of preparation, some bullet points, and a topic to keep yourself in the brackets of what's relevant in that situation. Now, improvising can be exactly the same. If you sit down in front of a kit and say to yourself, right, I'm just going to play anything. I mean, there's a chance that something gold will come out, but there's also a high chance that something not so great is going to come out. If you give yourself some musical limitations of things to work inside, you can soon find your brain kind of exploring the directions within those limitations and really starting to make some cool ideas. One thing that's really important to remember is, as drummers, there are no wrong notes. We don't play a melodic instrument. We don't have to worry about chord changes. We don't have to worry about striking that semitone out that just stands out. We can play anything, and we can really use that to our advantage. Now, no matter where you are with your improvising, I want to give everyone an exercise today that's going to help push them forward and start having fun and making some more creative ideas. Now, if improvising is new to you or seems a little bit scary, I want to start off with this exercise that everyone should feel comfortable on. We're only going to improvise with one limb, and that's going to be our right foot on the bass drum, or if you're a lefty, left foot. And we're going to improvise over a setting that's going to be really comfortable to anyone, and that is eighth notes in the right hand on a closed hi-hat and a 2 and 4 backbeat in the left hand. Now, start with your ideas simple, but I really want to let the bass drum play wherever it falls. Try not to think in exercises or terms of exact rhythms you've heard before, but just whatever springs off the top of your mind. Feel free to try things and find out what works and find out what doesn't work. Remember, this is just a first exploration into improvising, and it's by no means a performance. Okay, let's move on to the second exercise. If you just played that first one and that was starting to feel comfortable, or if you've done a little improvising before and want to start pushing your ideas, this should be useful. We're going to start improvising some full drum fills, but we're still going to limit ourselves by only playing the bass drum and the snare drum. We're going to set up a 4-bar loop, that's 2 bars of beat, and 2 bars of fill. Now, I want you to use a time signature and a tempo and a beat that you're really comfortable with. For me, I'm going to be playing this in 4/4 and I'm going to use a halftime shuffle. But the catch is, when you get to the fill, you're not allowed to repeat yourself. So while you play those 2 bar fills, try to register what it is you're playing and then think of something new for the next time. Not only does this have to make you aware of what you're playing, but it forces you to come up with new ideas. Now, if you do find yourself repeating, that's fine, but just stop, take a break, think of some of the ideas that you played and go for it again. Again, trying to keep the ideas fresh. Now let's move on to the last exercise. Now in this one, we're really going to be pushing the limits of what we can do. And if improv is new to you, then I really recommend just waiting out and keeping on those first 2 exercises until it feels more comfortable. Now with this one, we're really going to open the options by saying we can play anything on the kit. Our only limitations are that it is a 4-bar loop, and in the first bar of every loop, we're going to put a crash on beat 2. That's going to make it really difficult because as drummers, we're so ingrained crashing on beat 1, it's going to keep us on our toes, making sure that while we're improvising, we're keeping a clock on what's happening musically around it, which as drummers, we've got to keep doing. Now, in terms of time signature and tempo on this, I really want you to push yourselves and play something that's not comfortable. Try not to go for your happy 120 BPM 4/4, but push out the options. Try a 6/8, try a 7/8, try a 3/4, whatever's a little bit more alien to you. Really push yourself to improvise in alien terrain. Now I'm going to go for a 7/8 here, and we're going to really push up the tempo on it and see what comes out. Now hopefully, no matter where you are with your personal improv, those exercises can really push you to come up with some new ideas, and most importantly, just have fun on the kit. It's so important to try these things in a non-performance situation and really get comfortable with playing unprepared things. One last point I really want to stress is when you're playing this stuff, try not to force in those ideas or patterns of things you've been working on recently. Try not to play that linear lick that you've got down recently and kind of want to chuck in there, but rather let your brain just explore things that come out and don't push anything. You'll often find that improv can sound a lot better when you're not playing on your limit, but playing what you know really well and can execute cleanly. Now, if you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you for the next one.